Essentially what I'm doing today is I'm going through my checklist that I go through before a wedding. I'm just going to do a quick Yay! I'm just going to do a quick breakdown of all my gear and what I use. I'm going to try and make this as short as possible because no one needs to hear me ramble on. So I have 2 camera bodies and I have 4 batteries for them. So I make sure that they're all charged. So I'll take them all out, throw them in my chargers. I have 2 of these bad boys. So I got those plugged in. That's the first step. Batteries, batteries, and batteries. Once the first few are done, then I'll switch into my other ones. And then I charge my flash batteries. So I know I used this last weekend I had a 12-hour wedding, and I used this for the whole reception part. So these bad boys are going to need to be charged. I use Panasonic Envelopes. They are the best rechargeable batteries I've ever found. I've tried quite a few. And these ones last forever. Like, I didn't replace these the whole wedding day. They're awesome. This is what they look like, and they're very affordable. Cool, so I got those plugged in. Those are charging. I have about 12 actual batteries and 2 charging packs that I always bring with me. And the way I keep it organized in my camera bag is I have a clear plastic bag with the ones that are fully charged. So I know these are charged, so I'm going to put those in there. And then best batteries. Yeah, they are. They're so good. And then I have another clear bag with just black tape, and every time my battery dies, I put the dead ones in here so that I know which ones are dead and which ones are charged when I come home at the end of the day. I'm a Canon user, so all my gear is Canon. Right now I don't have any other brands. Not that I don't support other brands, but yeah. So I'll go through some of my gear. I have a 24-105 kit lens that came with my Canon 5D Mark II. I really like that for the wide. The 24 gets nice and wide. I can get some pretty dramatic shots with that. I just bought this from April. She's watching. Hi, April. It is 70-200 f4, so it's not a crazy low aperture, but it works really well. I used it for the first time last weekend, and I was really happy with it. Well, there's a lot of people here. Hey, guys. Okay, so this is the day before checklist. So going through all the batteries, making sure they're charged. The next step is formatting my CF cards so that when I go, I don't have to do it on the day of. So I use SanDisk Extreme 16 gigs. The Canon 5D Mark IIs only have a single slot. They don't have dual. So I use 16 gigs so that just in case they corrupt, I don't lose too much of the day instead of like a 32 where you lose the whole day. So this one has the wedding from last weekend on that I did with Lauren McCormick, laurenphoto.ca. She's awesome. So I'm just going to format that. You can see formatting. And I'm just going to do that with every single CF card that I have. And I have 4 16 gigabyte ones and 1 32. So it's a lot of memory. I almost always use maybe 75% of the memory, but it does depend how long the wedding day is. The longer the day, the more photos you're going to take. So once I'm done formatting all the cards, I'll take the formatted ones and I'll put them and keep one in each body so that I know that that body has a full battery and a totally formatted CF card ready to go. That is something I'll do the day before, but then moving on to the next part of my checklist is the day of. This checklist I'm going to do in a PDF form for you guys to download, and I'll link it in my bio. So the day of, I got the little green light, making sure the batteries are charged, making sure that the charged batteries are in the camera with the formatted CF cards so that they're ready to go, so I don't have to, fiddle around with it when I get there. Okay, so also day of is checking to make sure I have all my lenses in my bag. I'm going to put this into a blog post, and I'm going to link all the products that I have and use. My camera bag is amazing. It's probably the best camera bag I've ever purchased, and it was also the cheapest. Day of, I'll just double check that all those cards are in there. All those cards are formatted. It's just double, triple, however many times, double checking. The longer the wedding, the more nervous I am, so I'll typically check more if it's a bigger day. but I always check at least 3 times. That's kind of my 1, 2, 3 thing that I do every time, my routine. So I make sure that I have all my chargers, all my flash, which I have this flash, and then I always bring my little transmitter, but I've never really used it. This would be, I would put this on my camera and then have my flash in another part of the room flashing off when I take the photo, but I've never used it, but I do always pack it, one of those kind of OCD just in case you need it things. And yeah, then moving on to the next stage of my getting ready, this is probably the most complicated and the least necessary part, is all the extra things I bring. I kind of have my own emergency kit for the day of. It's not super good. I know you can find tons of wedding blogs out there have awesome emergency kit guides for photographers. This is just what's in mine. In my emergency kit, I always bring water bottle, obviously. I will always bring either Red Bull, I know it's so bad for you, or coffee, like canned coffee. You can buy like cold brew coffee in a can at the grocery store. Just for a quick pick-me-up, if you're driving from one spot to the next, you can quickly drink it. Typically, there's a couple hours throughout a long wedding day where you kind of dip in energy, and that always helps to have that ready in your car. Granola bars, I usually bring 2 or 3. Any kind of granola bar, sandwich, stuff like that is always really good. Deodorant, yay! Always bring nice pens. I also bring allergy medication, Pepto and Advil, Tiger Balm for my back, Tide to Go stick. And now this, I have to give a shout out to Samantha Marie Photography, photos by Samantha Marie. She was on the chat a while ago. I don't know if she's still here, but she taught me this, that baby wipes get out everything. And they do. I've used it now ever since she told me this. I've pretty much used it at every single shoot. So I don't have it on my table right now, but I actually have a huge thing of Kirkland baby wipes, and I now bring that to every single wedding. And I have used it every single wedding since she told me this because it is so helpful. It gets out literally everything. So that is on my list. I also bring my reflector, which I'm using right now, so I can't show you. I always have a second bag in my car. Inside the bag is my reflector. I bring gaffer tape with me. I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram from a few weddings ago when the shoe, like this guy's sole of his shoe fell off the shoe, so we used tape. So I just always have it in my car, and extra flip-flops, a couple Band-Aids, bug spray, and sunscreen. I honestly pretty much never use these things, but they're just kind of things that I like to have with me. For my own self, I like to bring electrolytes. I really like these ones. They have electrolyte tablets that are caffeinated, so I like to bring those ones, and they're super tasty. Also, personal, I bring a little mini hairbrush and this Mario Badescu facial spray. It's like $9 on Amazon. And I find like if you have like a good 10-minute break and you go to use the washroom, just like quickly comb your hair and spraying your face, it just like refreshes you, wakes you up. Quick comb my hair, quick spray my face. I don't know why, it's just one of those things I like to do. I've only ever done it on wedding days where you're there for like 12 hours though. The last 2 things I like to bring, 3 things I like to bring are blotting paper for brides, sewing kit, this is crucial. This one I think I got at a hotel, the bare minimum essentials, and I really like it. And the very last thing, this is for my lady photographers out there, I always bring tampons. That's about it. So I have a day before part of my checklist that's just making sure everything's charged, laid out. I lay everything out on my floor so that it's crystal clear with the checklist right in front. And then I have a day of, or the day before, depending on how big the wedding is and how early it is, I might move it up a day. But that's just putting all the formatted, charged, batteries, everything into the cameras, making sure they're there. And then of course, the day of or the night before, depending on how early it is, I'll just pack it all in my bag. Yeah, that is it. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you all for joining.